What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, then welcome back to the podcast. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the 5 biggest habits that you may be doing at the moment that are keeping you out of shape. Now, this isn't me fat shaming, but the chances are if you're watching this video right now, probably because you want to improve the way you look. Maybe you're not too happy with where things are at the moment. And maybe I'm about to identify some of the biggest flaws that you've got right now, some of the habits that you're doing each day that are preventing you from getting to where you want to get to. So let's get straight into it. Here are the 5 habits that are keeping you out of shape right now that you need to change very quickly. Now, first habit is going to bed too late, essentially getting up too late as well. Now, the reason why this is such an issue is because nothing good happens after 11 o'clock. Really, let's think about it. Shit TV, poor quality food gets consumed, poor quality sleep happens, and you're pulling yourself further away from your goal. Essentially, this means you then end up getting up later in the day, the morning routine sucks, everything kind of falls out of plan, which is not what we want. Now, I advise all of our clients to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night, and just try not to go to bed too late, because let's think about it. When we get into the evening, this is the prime time when we will mess up with our nutrition. This is when we want to go to the cupboard and grab the biscuit tin or go and get the Ben & Jerry's from the freezer. This is when it happens. It doesn't happen at 9 o'clock in the morning. It happens in the evening time. And the biggest problem that people have is they just don't go to bed early enough. How do you stop binging in the evening? Brush your teeth and go to bed. This is the advice that we give to a lot of our clients that actually sounds really simple, but always works. So an easy way to improve your life, improve your energy, improve your confidence, to make dieting so much easier is just simply go to bed a little bit earlier. Don't stay up past 10 o'clock, 10:30 max. Realistically, nothing good happens at that time. TV sucks, alcohol, bad food comes out the cupboard, and potentially alcohol starts getting consumed as well. And the reality is when we get up earlier, we actually get way more stuff done as well. We have a much better productive routine in the morning, and how we start our day has got a massive dictate on how our day is going to end and the outcome of that day. Okay, some of the most productive people in the world have got a very good morning routine. They get up, they do the right thing. Most lean people will do something productive in the morning, and they've got that nailed down to a T. This doesn't mean meditation and cold showers, but getting up at a good time and just giving yourself that edge in the morning. And the reality is, if we're out of bed earlier and we're moving around, probably going to get more steps in as well. So we're going to get more activity. We're going to be less tired because we're going to be getting more sleep. So hormones are going to be better balanced, and we just make the process so much easier. So if there's one thing to take from this, go to bed earlier, get to sleep, get proper good quality sleep, and guarantee that's the first habit that's going to change your life. The second habit, which is far too common these days, and that is people buying meal deals or being slapdash with their nutrition and not pre-planning as much as they should be. Now, when it comes to getting in shape, as you guys probably know already, nutrition is going to be the most important factor. Losing body fat comes down to your diet. So if you're not already controlling the amount of calories that you're consuming and eating the right types of food, you're way behind. And it seems way too common these days that people don't think they've got enough time in the morning, and they think that they can't just go and prep their meals and take good quality food to work, and they just go out and buy these crappy meal deals from Tesco's. They've got no nutrient dense food quality in them whatsoever, setting them back with energy, setting them back with poor digestion, and they just end up getting hungry later on in the day and then binging on a load of crap food. Now, when it comes to nutrition, the majority of our diet should be made up of nutrient dense, good quality, whole foods, which means not buying meal deals every day because you don't have time to prep. It doesn't take that long to just make sure that you do a little bit of food prep on a Sunday. Be that just cooking some chicken and putting it in some wraps, or having some tuna and taking it out the tin. Literally anything. There's so many ways that we can be more efficient with our nutrition rather than just going for the £3 meal deal in Tesco's, which isn't only not good for your stomach and your health and your physique, but also your bank balance as well. Like, reality is these things add up. You can be way more efficient with your spending if you actually make time with planning and taking proper good quality food to work. So stop with the meal deals, start planning at the start of every week what you're going to have, what you're going to take to work with you. And that's the second thing that's going to get you in better shape this year. Number 3, everyone's favorite and probably potentially the worst habit that a lot of us have got, and that is drinking too much alcohol. Okay, this is going to take away from your goal more than anything else. Everything we do in life is either going to take us one step closer to where we want to get to, or one step further away. And I don't need to tell you that drinking pints every weekend, or bottles of red wine, or cocktails, or whatever it is not going to serve you in the future. And the reality is, alcohol is so much more than just the calories. Okay, kind of single-minded way of looking at alcohol, thinking that, oh, well, as long as I make up the calories, then it's going to be okay. Fortunately not. Alcohol is a way of poisoning your body. We are effectively stopping fat oxidation, which is our body's ability to lose body fat. We're stunting our body's ability to recover and grow and build muscle, and we're effectively going to start to alter our body's hormones as well. So things like insulin start to become imbalanced, which is a storage hormone, which effectively means if we're producing too much insulin, we're going to gain more body fat. So alcohol is way more than just drinking because of the calories and, saving some calories at the start of the week so we can get smashed at the weekend. It doesn't work like that, okay? Stay away from drinking large quantities of alcohol if you want to be in shape. And that is the reality when it comes to this game. A lot of the time, people are drinking a lot more than just because it's fun and because they want to go out with their mates. They're almost using it as escapism and having it because it's kind of blunting maybe something they're not happy with in their life at the moment. Maybe they're not fulfilled, and it's just a way of masking the truth, okay? Actually use your health, your body, and your physique and healthy habits as the beacon to a better life, not alcohol, which is reality going to be very short-lived anyway. You have a few drinks, you have a laugh, you get merry, you wake up the next day and you feel terrible. So I'm not saying don't drink. Personally, I do drink every now and then, and that's fine, but just limit your alcohol consumption, because if you can do that, you're going to give yourself a much better chance of getting in better shape and feeling a lot better too. Habit number 4 that is stopping you from getting in shape right now. This is going to be controversial. However, this is running, okay? Now, a lot of you who have followed me for a while, you might be thinking, well, hang on a sec, Chris, you run all the time and you've always posted in your stories. Yeah, I do, but I'm already in good enough shape to be able to go and work on more performance goals and actually start running. I'm not trying to lose fat. If I was trying to lose fat and I had quite a lot of fat to lose, running's the last thing that I'd be doing. Trust me, I wouldn't be doing it, because the reality is when we run, firstly, if you're overweight, you're putting so much pressure, so much impact on your body every single time you run that goes through your knees, through your joints. This is not good, especially as you keep doing this with excess weight as you start to get older. This is what causes hip pain, back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, all these pains that people are getting. It's probably because they're putting too much pressure on their joints, okay? This is not how you lose weight. And the other thing that running always seems to lead to is hunger. And I know this because anytime I go for a 5K run and a 10K run, a few hours later, I'm absolutely starving. Like, I want to eat all the food that's there. And yes, you've just burnt some calories whilst running, but do you know how easy it is to eat those calories back? Like, you literally have like one protein bar and you've probably burnt over half the calories that you would have burnt on your 5K run. So it's very easy to eat these calories back, and more cardio, more exercise, more intense bouts of exercise, it would increase your appetite. That's the way things work. Our body almost feels the need for more food when we just put it through hard exercise. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, because you should, but excess cardio can do that. And thirdly, the reality is when it comes to running is that's not going to send your body the right signals when it comes to getting in shape. You're listening to this because you want to be in better shape. That means that being leaner, that means having more muscle, more toned, a better physique. Running doesn't offer that. Running simply just tells your body that it doesn't need this muscle that it's got at the moment, doesn't need the lean tissue, because there's no reason for it to keep it. All you're doing is just running and effectively burning calories. You see, when we lift weights, we're pushing ourselves. We're telling our body that we actually need to hold on to this lean tissue that we've got, because it's being put through stress. It's stimulus, it's going through our muscle fibers. That's what creates the lean, the toned, the aesthetic physique that you're aiming for. I would recommend that you start doing more running when you get to the end of your dieting phase. When you get in good shape, when you've got a good body composition, 100% start running. I think the hybrid style of training is one of the best things that's come out of the last 12 months, and it's something that I really love, but I certainly wouldn't be doing it until I was in better shape. Get that done first. Just have one singular focus of, I'm going to get in good shape, I'm going to improve my body composition, and then I start getting out the running trainers and start doing more of that. So that's the 4th thing that we need to be careful of. And number 5, now this is one that you may not have expected, but this is arguably the most important one, and it's the biggest thing that's stopping people from being where they want to be with their physiques, and it's scrolling social media. Now, social media is probably one of the best and the worst things that's happened in the last 10 years. It's inspired people, it's created a lot of wealth for a lot of people, it's benefited people in so many different ways. However, there's actually a lot of negative things that have come out of social media as well, in the fact that people have this kind of false perception on what's happening, or this kind of reality of people looking like they're succeeding in a certain area and living this life that maybe they're not. And the kind of comparison syndrome that we always have when it comes to looking at some of these people on social media is actually really holding you back, because the reality is a lot of the physiques that you see on social media, one, they're not really going to be attainable for a lot of people, and that is the reality. Like, some of these people that you see, they've got like top 0.01% genetics. They're just genetically made to look the way they are. And this isn't me saying that you can't get your physique to an amazing position, because everybody can. Everyone can be happy and confident with the way they look. But there are some people that are just genetically gifted like you wouldn't believe, and they just look at the weights room and they start to gain muscle. And this isn't to say, again, you're not going to get where you want to be, because you will, but you have to take that into account. The other thing we need to think about is there is a lot of dishonesty on social media. There are a lot of people that are taking substances to facilitate their result you're not aware of, and you're comparing yourself to someone that's, pumping testosterone in them every single weekend. weekend, you're never going to get to that level because that's not how a natural person is meant to look. So don't base your results off what you've seen on Instagram unless you know what that person is doing. And the last thing I will say, and again, like full transparency, this is kind of maybe a little bit similar to myself, although I like to keep myself in shape all year round to show that that is the lifestyle that I live. But what you will see is that a lot of these kind of influencers will go and get lean for, you know, a month or so, and they'll do loads of photo shoots, they'll get loads of content, they'll get all of their content for the entire year, and they'll just drip feed it out every single week, keep changing their outfits. And your perception is, oh, well, they must look great all the time. How are they doing that? How are they looking amazing? When in actual fact, this is just a small part of their year, and the rest of the year, they're probably having some sort of eating disorder, binging on cookies, and not looking the way they want to be. And maybe secretly, they're not actually very happy with their own kind of physique as well and suffer with body dysmorphia. So all I'm saying is, you know, social media is great. And maybe it's how you've discovered myself and a lot of other influencers or coaches that are on Instagram at the moment. But just be careful with kind of what you absorb, who you choose to listen to, and just take it with a pinch of salt. Because if you get stuck in this scrolling cycle of comparison and staying in your head, okay, stay in your head, you're dead. It's a Tony Robbins quote. Effectively, you're going to struggle to ever actually reach that next level because you're constantly going to be chasing something that's never going to happen. So use it as a source of inspiration and let it motivate you to think, do you know what, this is what I want to do in my life. This guy looks really cool, but don't let it carry you away too much because trust me, a lot of what you're seeing out there is false. So guys, these are my 5 biggest habits that are holding you back right now, that are stopping you from getting in shape. So just to summarize on these 5, we've got number 1, going to bed too late and getting up too late. You need to fix this straight away. Number 2 is buying meal deals every day and not looking after your nutrition, not planning, not being structured, and not eating enough of the right foods. Number 3 is drinking alcohol. Too much alcohol is never going to lead to you getting to where you want to get to in any aspect of life. You need to bring this down and understand that in moderation is fine. Too much of it isn't conducive. Number 4 is running. As I say, I'm not against running. I love it. It's something that I do every single week. However, when your goal is to get in amazing shape and your goal is fat loss, I would not be doing much running to start off with. And I certainly wouldn't be prioritizing that over lifting weights and getting stronger. And number 5 is scrolling social media. Be careful what you absorb. Be careful who you choose to listen to. Just take it with a pinch of salt. So as always, guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, make sure you hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post. Make sure you subscribe for future YouTube videos. If you're on the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe on the podcast as well. Drop me a 5-star rated review. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next episode.